Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this crypto world. My name is Cody, and I've got another exclusive interview with a hackathon participant. Welcome, guys. How are you?
We're doing good.
Good.
Um,
Good to hear. Good to
Good,
hear.
sir.
And let's just jump right in, shall we? So what's the name of your project, and tell me who's behind it and what you guys do, and maybe a little bit about your guys' background. Let's just take it right there, and then I'll ask the next question. Okay?
all right, great. So our project is basically EDU or EduVerse AI, as we call it. It is basically a swift and a good solution to, let's say, all the major issues that currently exist in the edtech field. Right. So EduVerse is basically our intention of transforming the current edtech market using a few AI powered features and this kind of gamification of education that could be scalable to a lot of universities and other and other areas where we're looking for. And it has a good scope in India. So that's what we found out, that there's a gap in the market, and that's why we're trying to reach out to it, trying to solve that problem. So let's assume you are a student, right? Just like in a country like India, and India's being brutally honest, there's a lot of population here, a lot of competent students. So there's like a lot of let's call it high. It's very competitive, and because of this, education has become competitive. It's become an industry more than just like some kind of starting phase. So what happened is, like, what's happening right now is education has been generalized and it's not personalized to any university. So majority of the features we get, courses we get, a lot of that in India at least is generalized to the public, and it does not cater to everyone's needs and everyone's let's say everyone's uh, specific conditions or specific needs in terms of education and what they want to learn.
Okay.
So what we provide is this kind of AI driven assignments and AI driven other features that we'd like to display through a PPT. We'd like to share our screen. Just in 2 minutes, I will. And we'll display that. Just 1 second.
Perfect. You should have access to it, so let me know if it's not working.
Arsh, can you display the PPT, please? Share your
Um,
screen.
yeah, just wait for a while and
So while we're trying to get that pulled up, uh, who's on your team? Let's kind of talk about that real quick while we're trying to get this technical difficulty thing taken care of. But yeah, go ahead and just kind of introduce the team and what their roles are, kind of their experience, that kind of stuff.
Okay, sure. So we're a team comprised of four second-year students at studying BTech, computer science, specializing in computer science core. And basically, we've all four of us have different set of skills, and we've able to come together and put all our skills together and implement it properly, and display it and show it properly. So we've participated in a lot of hackathons recently, and we've come together to participate in various events, workshops, see if as a team we've been able to work properly. So let I'll just let everyone. I'm Harish, Harish Bharadwaj, and I'll let the others introduce themselves as well.
um, I'm I'm Ash. I'm batchmate of all those. Actually, we all are batchmates. So like we get together and we have tried some hackathons and we have just brainstormed some ideas related to this. And we also did some research related to this. And finally we get to know that this is the problem statement which we are also facing, and actually a lot of students are facing. So we got a problem statement and then solution related to this, and now we are working on it as a project. So Yatharth.
Great.
uh, yes, myself, Yatharth. So
My role is just UI and UX designer and a front-end developer. Now, Kushaba, your role you can define.
So, hi, my name is Kashyapa. My area of expertise is data science mostly, and I contributed to this project from backend, and I also have contributed by working and integrating AI and LLM models. And I would like to introduce about the tech stack that we have used. So let me just go drive through it. So for the front end part, like my friend Yadath here, we have used Next.js React framework. Basically, the question arises why we used it because it provides server side rendering and static side generations for fast and SEO friendly pages, and we use Tailwind CSS for styling, and of course, it also the front end is very important because looks what attracts a website. And coming to the backend implementation, we have used Express.js, which is basically the server-side logic. And the reason we used it is because it's a lightweight and it's much scalable backend for handling the API requests and business logic. And coming to OpenAI, uh, the main reason we integrated is because AI-driven content generation and adaptive learning is much crucial because we can't just rely on pre-existing courses. Students expect something new when it comes to their personal learning and personalized learning. So for the database implement, like I was saying, we used NoSQL 5 store because it is ideal for real-time updates, and AI-driven recommendations are much faster and much scalable in the website. And the general usage would be stores live interaction and AI suggestions and blockchain related updates. The AI that we have integrated is GPT-4, which is an LLM application. It's generally for assisting in general learning content and answering students' queries. And we have used Whisper AI, which is speech to text contest. It enables voice-based learning for accessibility. And we have also included TensorFlow, which is based on PyTorch. It enables AI-driven learning and progress tracking, and also adaptive tests, student pattern analysis, and AI tutors, etc. And the base of the whole base of this is on cloud DevOps, which is Vercel, which is famously used for educational platforms. The main reason we use Vercel is the front end and back end are much user friendly and also much easy to implement. And uh, it's the main topic is blockchain integration, and that my friend Harish will be taking up right now.
All right. So actually, we've done a lot of research on our end, and both on like real world implementation. What is what's the knack? What's working out in the real world? Ash, can you just scroll back to the slides before that, please? The normal ones, right? So our problem statement, as simple as we can put it, is that it's the current problem is that when a lot of current implementers, or let's assume current websites or apps, are not able to implement this kind of useful AI, or let's assume blockchain or even gamification in their thing, what we are trying to implement. We'll show you a demo if that's all right. Ash, can you please first move forward before we show the demo? All right, more. Okay, so these are a few actually just open glimpses that we kept for our UI. So we tried keeping a simpler UI, catering to our audience, and assuming that most of them are going to be university level students. Please move forward. All right. So what we're trying to show is these are all the features we can implement as of now. What our AI, or basically what our code does is it tracks all the, let's assume, the courses you've accessed, the videos you've watched, what all certifications you're going after, and these specific things that are really implementable, or even like the credits we're trying to get from specific courses. All of that is accessed. What's your study plan, your study pattern, and it breaks it down and gives you this kind of a pattern or this planner for you. So like to help manage your time better, to understand your time better, which is a big issue that's happening in current, the current university students. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right. So now I'd like to, I'll share the screen. 1 second. You can stop sharing the screen. All right. 1 second. Entire screen. Sure. All right. Is it visible? It's visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So okay. So I'm just going to continue. This is our basic UI and our basic current working project and front end. This is how you can get a notice board of all features, competitions, and you can get one single source, one single place where you can track and also attempt and also apply and participate for all such events. Let's assume there's a job fair or even like a coding competition or workshop. Currently, what's happening in majorly our university, and we've seen other private universities around our university and in India mainly, is that there is no proper access or there's no proper, spread of general information. There's a note, so there's no proper notice board where we can find out, okay, this event is happening, this international event is happening, whatever it is. So ours is basically collectively bringing all this information together and sharing it to the general user, which is a university student. If we come back, these are all the categories that you can see that we are basically tracking all the history or like all the courses that this person or this student, that is me at the moment, Harish Putrevu, what I've been watching, I've been learning, and I've been trying to learn, understand for the past few days. Apart from that, these are my popular topics, and it tracks my progress. So, for example, I'm looking at a few courses, I'm accessing something. It can track my progress and also share my progress currently. It's lagging. 1 second. All right. And it also shares that. So in majority of Indian universities and other such universities, we have to track that we have a few criteria that we have to match. This is actually, it's applicable to around thousands of universities in India, that we need a certain level of course completion to get a grade. We need a certain level of certification to even pass our degree, so on and so forth. And apart from that, there are also some kind of, we have some goal or some target that we have to meet, such as, okay, I want to be a full stack developer by the end of this year. So this tracks all our courses and gets us an information that you're X amount there, you're this percent there. And when we head back to our home page, now what we've done is every university has professors who are probably willing, not maybe even assistant professors or associate professors, who are willing to share course details or even their course videos to us. And if we are willing to enroll, we can get access to courses within that specific university. We don't have to look to for YouTube or in other such resources like Coursera and everything else. We can get access to courses within our university. So, for example, we're lagging behind in some kind of let's assume maths M1, right? So we can get access to his course and his lectures and move on from there. So these are the professors we've been able to contact till now. And basically, these are few professors who've been able to share their videos, and we can get access to their playlist. We can also find out any profs. These are the various professors that we've contacted, and they've also accepted the fact that they can share their YouTube lectures or even live recorded lectures so that we can refer back later. All right. So this is our basic implementation. When we move on to our next features of how scalable our project can be and how we can implement it further, I'll be showing PPT for that. All right. So, okay. So I'd like to explain something to you. Okay, now you might be having this doubt, right? Okay, is it really implementable? Are there some examples that in India, such, or even in SRM, let's bring it down, right? Even in a university like SRM, where there's around lakh footfalls or even thousands of students, do you think there's scope for such projects? Yes. Recently, a third year student in our university created this app called Academia Pro, where we could only track the progress, such as attendance details, how much marks you're getting, and your course, you can maybe guess your grade for this semester and stuff like that. And what he was able to do was he was able to implement this properly with a very simple UI and UX, and he deployed it on Vercel. Now, this person, this single app that was implemented by this third year student within SRM got around what, a million page views and 100,000 footfalls just within 2 months of implementation. This is how crazy it is, like the amount of scope we have in the amount of footfalls we can get on our website if we just implement it to a next level. Now, realistically speaking, what we're trying to implement is that there are not only universities like SRM, there's more universities like Manipal, if you've heard of it, VIT Vellore, or even various private bits, various universities where such features aren't provided within or by the college. They're looking for such apps to be deployed by anyone, and they can just integrate their courses, their professors, and their data, and we can access it and change our data will change according to the university's data. All right, now let's move on to another implementation. So what we've done is we've done a little bit of research on all right. So we've done a little bit of research on various various companies like Udemy, Khan Academy, these websites, online resources. And what they've basically done is we've trying to find out that what features they're not able to provide, or the gap in the market, and what we're able to provide, so that we can understand our scope on a bigger scale. So what we mean by blockchain integration here is that in Khan Academy or Udemy or Coursera, if you complete a course, you probably get some points or some credits or some kudos. But what we're providing is you complete a course, you can get some kind of NFT gain. It might not be a lot, but it'll be enough for you to access another free course. It might be enough for you to access another course that's a lot paid for a high amount. But since you've been a consistent student for like a month, 2 months, you can implement it and you will get gifts. This will actually motivate students, because who isn't motivated by earning a little bit extra during their college life? So the kind of advantages we're getting is this kind of more student in this gamification, right? That, as I mentioned earlier, why are we gamifying our website? Because it really adds an element of interesting element that we can implement more. We can get more enthusiastic students who want to maybe earn more, maybe implement more, and that's how we're trying to extend, bring it further, take it further. So that's our current explanation of how scalable our project can be, how realistically implementable our project can be, and how much scope we have. Because a million footfalls in just in a single university, just assume the number of thousands of universities that India has, and the access that we can get to. And that is our whole
Usually,
idea. That is our
it is
implementation
also
and
having
project.
such a one or two features.
Arsh, you're
We
not.
have added like,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So that Sprinter also like one or two features, but we have implemented more than 5 to 6 features, which is also related to AI. And for the futuristic scopes, we have also figured out some more issues and mental stress and all other things. So we are also going to implement all those features in that. And just for one university, if a million views can be there, so just imagine how it will be scalable for all the other universities. So that's our presentation.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good presentation, guys. I think you're definitely onto something. Kudos to you guys for sure. So, yeah, I think once you're ready to go outside of the university level and look at the online education as a whole, I don't know if you guys have done research into that. That is a $120 billion annual industry currently. So you looked at Unity, you look at some of those other online platforms. It's amazing how much money is out there to be made, and how many people are actually looking for courses on how to do this or that. Have you guys looked at the research as to what people are searching for? Do you guys know what the number one thing is that people are searching for these days on how to?
I think it's mainly about any computer related degrees probably.
It's right up your alley. It's AI. AI is like one of the top searched industries or how-tos out there, according to Google. At least that's in my area here in the States. I don't know if it's the same around the world, but I'm pretty sure I'm guessing it's going to be about the same thing because you've got a lot of people that are saying, "Hey, AI is where it's going to be," right? So kudos to you guys. I think you're definitely onto something. Being a UI UX designer myself, very clean, very good. I wrote down some notes, and I'll be happy to share those with you after this call. But yeah. So let me ask a couple of questions here real quick. It looks like you guys have already started on this. So kind of past the concept and idea kind of planning stage, which is great. How long have you guys actually been working on this?
So we've actually been the whole concept came up maybe let's say 5 weeks or 5 6 weeks ago. We've been thinking of this for a while because the core idea, let's say, where how we got inspired from already existing apps, right? So the core inspiration came about a few months back itself, but realistically we started probably a few weeks back, we can say.
Gotcha.
That's where we. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So, um, obviously you've told us what kind of problems you're aiming to solve and all that kind of stuff. You've told us about that you've also participated in other hackathons recently. What made you guys come to want to do L1X's hackathon? Just curious.
I mean, realistically, your implementation, we've actually done some research, some basic research at our end about, your implementation into AI and blockchain. That's what your company is mainly into, right? So, I mean, we saw a scope there. I mean, if our project is really something we can implement both AI and blockchain into, this kind of NFT gift token kind of scenario, we can learn more. We can find out what the industry is expecting through you guys maybe, and find our scope there, right? We can build something through work together and finally build something that's useful and get to an end project, end goal. That's a good output for all of us. That's what
For
our
sure.
implementation.
For sure. One of our biggest claim to fame is our interoperability, being able to go between EVM and non-EVM chains, but not just moving assets, but moving data and logic as well. So I'm really excited for projects like you guys and some of the other projects that we've spoken to that are participating in the hackathon, because I think once you could turn those AI agents loose, out onto the different chains and the amount of data and the amount of different things that they can perform for people will not only provide more security, but it will provide more guardrails. It will provide more simplicity, and that's what it sounds like you guys are definitely aiming to do as well. So that's great. So real quick, based upon your limited research on L1X and the ecosystem here, how do you guys feel like your project could actually fit into our ecosystem, into its current state, and help our current community?
Well, as my team lead has presented, one of the main things that we have focused on is about every student should be able to access all the courses that he or she desires. And you would have seen that we have implemented NFT coins, which will be further used to unlock courses. That's not just for every student, but also that mainly targets students who are financially not aided. So obviously, in any private university or any Ivy League schools, students who are able to afford all the courses that they desire, they can afford them and they can pursue them. The students who cannot afford the courses, they can use this website for free of cost. And I think that's one of the concept that's one of the way that our website helps the system.
All right. And I mean, apart from that, actually, based on our research on L1X's, I mean, L1X's, work and everything, what we believe is that, I mean, a few things that actually clicked with us is that the fact that, you work on credential verification and other features like that. And apart from that, our main part is cost efficiency because our implementation really doesn't take much. It utilizes pre-built models and simple designs. So because that like reduces cost to a very good amount, which reduces fees and our interaction level or like our efficiency level increases. Apart from that, we have this good synergy between AI and blockchain. So as you asked, what kind of correlation we'll have with L1X's goal is that this main synergy that we're trying to create, because in this new world, AI is everything. In the sense that if you anywhere, the next door you're opening, it's AI. The next course you're looking for, it's AI. And how about we build blockchain? Blockchain had a boom for the past, let's assume 5 years, right? It's been on a boom for a while, but it's been having this constant growth. So this kind of synergy or correlation that we can find that our project is able to implement, and that we can really stand out and mix correlate properly with your L1X's goals. So that's our main targeting points, like decent. So what, as you mentioned, decentralized ecosystems of L1X. We believe we can genuinely add on there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing. So, what are you guys expecting to get out of this hackathon? You guys have participated in other ones. What are you expecting to get out of this? And are you expecting to hit any milestones or hit any achieve any goals for your project while participating in the hackathon?
Okay. So realistically, our main motto or goal for participating in this hackathon was that we really need, okay, we have an idea, we have a basic implementation. So, but with a proper deadline and proper instruction, mentor and guide for such a hackathon, what we believe is as we can actually implement this, we can scale it and we can implement it and build a proper project, end-to-end project that's deployable in the real world with this after this hackathon. So that's our main goal and main motto, that through this hackathon, we can do it. And being college students, what we really, we really look out for, we really, we feel like we deserve and we desire as well, is this kind of a good opportunity to work with a company that's willing to, let's assume, teach us and, guide us along the way. And
Yeah.
both the company and us, both of us will get like probably good benefits out of it because end of the day, a project completion is what we're looking for, right? So that's what we're hoping. We'll learn a lot on the way, and we'll see how the real world industry-based applications actually are.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So you mentioned that you hope to get finished by the end of the hackathon so that you can go to market with it. Have you guys started thinking about your go to market? How are you going to tap into all these different universities and stuff like that?
Okay. So basically, what we have is being university students and being, let's assume all of us are extroverts. We do have a lot of contacts in various universities. So siblings, not only siblings, but professors and other such common points and common mutual friends, let's assume, and mutual professors to our existing professors in our university. Surprising thing is we've already contacted such professors from two universities, VIT and Manipal. And what we'll be able to do is these universities also have a lot of students, a lot of competition, and a lot of demand. So the profs at these universities who are like ex-colleagues or friends with professors in our universities, or even we have contacts with other students, we realize that our next step would be first implement it completely at SRM, get a good model running for a month or few months, then say, okay, wow, good implementation at our level is over. SRM itself has 4 branches in India. So what we can do is spread it to the other branches. Once word goes out, we don't need to publicly ask anyone. They'll come to us and they'll start asking us that, all right, can we implement it for our university? We'll give in the data through our portal or through our site, and please do implement for our university because of our user interface or whatever it is that they like about us. So I believe all it takes is that 1 month, few months of struggle period where the company or the model or the project has to boom. So we will deploy in Versal and we'll take tips from people from our university who've already done projects like this, and hopefully everything goes well. So that's the kind of plan we have.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys do really, really well and catch the eye of our founder, Kevin, because the L1X blockchain is actually partnered with the Western Australia University. And so he could probably open some doors there, but you got to grab his attention. So that's why we're doing these AMAs with you guys, these interviews, so that we can get to know the team, get to know the projects, right? So that our community can get excited about what you guys are building. So, kind of advice to you guys is to make sure that you get into our community, Discord, Twitter, Telegram, get in there, do teasers. I loved how you guys gave us some quick teasers, UI designs, as well as I think you actually had one up already, the interface somewhat built. So that's great. So anything that you guys could do like that to kind of keep the community up to date as you kind of go through this hackathon is only going to help you in the long run. Okay. So just word of advice there for you. And I think that that's going to be a great way for you guys to capture Kevin's attention. So, one final question for you, and this is the hardest one for a lot of projects to answer. Okay. Are you guys ready for it? Where do you guys see your project in the next 5 years? And what type of impact? I know you've already talked about some of the impact you want to make initially, but think long term. What impact and what legacy do you want this project to leave?
Okay. Right.
I
So
told you it's a thinker.
I mean, it is a good question. I mean, who really thinks about, large scale, long-term implementation? But realistically speaking, we do have like ambitions, right? We do have dreams. So we actually spoke about this topic a while back when we were, we casually talk about, okay, fine, where do didn't think about like maybe 5 years down the line, but a few years down the line. And what we saw is that the Indian market for the past few years, we've experienced it. We're children, right? So we know for a fact it's not gonna the ed tech market in India, the edu tech market is not gonna fall, or not even in India, anywhere else in the world. It's a booming market. So I guess where we can see ourselves in like 5 years, or the impact that we can have is we can have a genuine impact on education, is what we believe, because a lot of online resources nowadays are generalized, which we have hated while growing, like, for the past few years. So we are trying to remove that or maybe change that. So as you've asked, like, what can, our impact be realistically? So our main impact would be bridging this kind of education gap that we have, right? We're trying to bring a more affordable, a gift-based system, a gamified system. So this would, and also a very important key point is personalized system, right? This personalized learning for each university, for each student, according to their needs will be catered. So this kind of impact would actually change some people's lives, because some people who are like struggling to catch up, to maintain, it would be a very big hit for them. It will work for very well for them. And it'll also reduce some sort of fraud. And a lot of students are misguided in universities. So I believe that will get eliminated, because this one source will give students a singular path that, okay, fine, do this, then do this, okay, contact this professor who's already, you've already accessed this professor's videos or lectures. So that is our core impact. So we're trying to probably empower the average student. We're trying to empower that student who really does not have access to resources, who's misguided constantly, and he or she who doesn't understand where to go, what to do next. That person who's we're trying to help and, trying to take on to the next level. And in 5 years, where do we see ourselves realistically? I believe if we are, if we stick to the plan, the typical rule book, and we keep going forward and we stay consistent, I genuinely believe that we have a very good scope of implementing it into majority of universities in India. And this will be like this kind of side startup for all of us, that all of us have dreams realistically to study abroad or pursue masters education, higher education in in like universities abroad. So I guess such kind of a startup, let's assume we put our heart and soul into it. So we really believe in 5 years or in 4 years or whatever the time period is, if our project is well implemented, we have this kind of feeling that, okay, we've brought a genuine impact to the education system, which we feel is lacking. And and yes, we do believe that if we stick to it, we stick to that mantra or that kind of rule book. In 5 years as well, we see ourselves with a, let's assume, a proper startup or a proper application or company that is implemented in many universities across India, and all of them are, and the average student in every single one of them is greatly helped by us. That is our goal and that is our impact.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Anybody else on the team want to say anything?
Well, I personally think that, of course, we are going to work on it and the implementation is going to be awesome. I personally think that by 2030, EduVerse will be, it's going to be a globally connected learning platform. I think it's going to be a go-to platform for AI-powered and blockchain secured system. And I also think that it won't just be a learning platform, but it will also be an intelligent, self-evolving, and a personalized education system. That would like most probably adapt to the future of learning and work. But the bottom line is that the thing that I want to convey is that EduVerse, our project, will redefine education by making learning personalized, secure, and borderless.
Love it. Love it. Anybody else?
Actually, what we think is the reason behind we are very sure about this project is actually the last year we have experienced a lot of things related to this. Like we came from the schools to this college, and what we experienced is we are attending a lot of events, lot of like boot camps and the seminars, the webinars. So meanwhile, we are leaving a lot of classes, which is actually for the academics. So as a student, we also have to maintain a good academics plus the skills, plus we should have a lot of skill set. So what we experienced is like we are somewhere lacking behind the uh, in comparison to our mates. And what I thought is this problem can be of anyone's, like it is not very specific for ourselves, because as a student it could be a general problem for all of us. So like we have contacted also to the professor and all, so they have especially created the playlist and the videos related to this, what they have taught in the class, so like we can get an access related to this. And the biggest thing related to this project is the centralization of data what we have right now. So if suppose like every professor is creating their videos and playlist related to this, so we can get an access, and like we won't feel like we are lacking behind this, and we can maintain all of those things. We can maintain we can manage our time, we can manage our mental health and all. And one more thing is there, like we are also, there is a thing called FOMO, fear of
Fear of
like
missing
lacking.
out. Yep. Yep.
Fear
I
of
hear
missing
you.
out. Exactly. So there are a lot of events which are coming and we don't come to know about it. And then after the deadline is crossed, we come to know about it that that was a good opportunity for us. So we also did this thing like first Harish has presented that demonstration in which each and everything related to the research paper, the hackathons, all the seminars and boot camps related to this, all of the students can get their access and they can get the information directly to their phones. So it could be a very better solution for all of us, and we are very sure that this project is will boom after 5 years, and we will see a very stable and also related to the business and financial aspects. We will be successful related to this.
Nah, I love it. I love it. Love it. All right. Everybody spoke. We got one left. Is he kind of shy? Does he want to say anything? You don't have
Yeah.
to. No pressure. No pressure, my friend. So, uh, yeah, so thanks everybody for kind of tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We've heard about uh your guys' project here, and man, have I taken some serious notes. Definitely a great project. I'm going to be keeping my eye on you guys for sure. And thanks to our listeners that are tuning in, listening to this. Definitely reach out to these guys if you have any questions. I think they're going to be hopefully throwing some stuff out there in the community so that you'll be able to grasp onto them and ask those questions. So thanks again for everybody for tuning in. Thanks to you guys. I know it's kind of late. but I appreciate it. You guys are probably all jacked up on Red Bull and energy drinks anyways, doing the college life. But thanks again for you guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. See ya.